In this video, we take a look at the depth of qualification required in a complex B2B sale and some of the things that are worth thinking about and acting upon. I'm also going to include some tips or some steps that you can take to increase your chances of building your credibility and influence with the hard to reach stakeholders across a decision-making unit. So let's get started. How often have you qualified a deal based on speaking with just one stakeholder? I understand the pressure we're all under given the need for pipeline and revenue, but that doesn't mean we need to take shortcuts in winning business. Is a deal really a qualified deal if you haven't qualified the buyer's motivations? Are they committed enough to making a difference within the organisation? Have you qualified the problem deep enough? Did your buyer present the problem to you, or have you uncovered it through a series of directional questioning? Has the problem been quantified in terms of cost, value and risk to the business and all of the stakeholders involved that ultimately need to support the decision to solve the problem? Has the criteria to solve the problem been defined? Has it been written down? Has it been shared with each and every stakeholder that needs to support the decision? Has your buyer received board or executive support, and have they qualified this as a top 3 priority worth solving now? Is your buyer aware of the steps they need to go through to obtain support from each stakeholder and complete the purchase? Do they understand how to maintain that support effectively to ultimately realise the value? Have they mapped out the path to value with you is the important bit. How willing are they to leverage your experience as a buyer guide to successfully climb what might often feel like Mount Everest? They will need a guide support to successfully tread what can be a very difficult path. We think it's hard to sell, it's even harder for buyers to buy. Is it clear that you can help buyers climb Everest and successfully tread that path? Can they begin the climb with certainty of reaching the top without incident with you? When it's so difficult to engage with buyers at this level and at scale, how do you develop credibility and influence across those hard to reach stakeholders across a decision-making unit? Here's a few steps to help you understand how. Step 1, develop your passive professional brand across your socials so that when your buyer comes across you, they instantly come to the conclusion you want them to. You are the guide that is proven to help them climb Everest with certainty and return home safely. Step 2, connect with as many employees within your target account as possible, not just your primary influencers. If you're well connected in the organisation, it then becomes obvious that you're more familiar with their business and more likely to help them compared with someone who isn't well connected in the organisation. Step 3, map out your primary and secondary influencers within each and every target account. Do your research on them. Insert yourself into as many social networking conversations as possible, making yourself visible to them and gradually demonstrating your influence around topics they need to address in order to climb Everest safely. Step 4, create a variety of content that makes you stand out and look like the expert guide you are. At the same time, show that you're a genuine, authentic person, someone who's trustworthy and can be relied on. Someone that can be relied on the treacherous climb they're about to make. Do that and your buyers will gravitate towards you. Step 5, once you start developing a series of conversations with multiple stakeholders in each account, it becomes far easier to meet with potential buyers and influencers. Just like in days gone by, when you would spend time at your prospects or clients' offices in the hope that you would bump into new stakeholders and build rapport quickly. You can do this all from the comfort of your home office. I'm working with a sales director in North America who is operating a focus account territory of around 60 accounts. Before working with him, he and his SDR had been working for 4 months on those accounts and booked 1 meeting. After 4.5 months working with me, he had generated 30 conversations across 13 accounts, engaged multiple stakeholders in each account, and he was averaging 2.3 meetings per account. He's now the top rep in North America for pipeline size. The traditional approach of calling and emailing and sending DMs on social didn't work for them. Social selling and influence is, and I have no doubt, will be the thing that helps him overachieve on his number this year. Social selling is a strategy, not a tactic. Social selling is an approach, not a channel. If you want to find out more about how we're working with clients and how this approach might help you, please drop me a DM. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great week.